Today, we're diving into a battle for the very soul of modern psychology. It's a clash of titans, Carl Jung versus Friedrich Nietzsche. And really, it's a story about a hammer and a mirror, two completely different ways to face the darkness inside all of us. Our story starts, as all good ones do, in a quiet little village, right in the heart of the modern mind.
So picture this quiet village, and in this village there's a healer. He's our stand-in for Carl Jung, and his medicine, it's all about understanding. He tells the villagers, look, to be whole, you've got to look into the mirror. You have to see those dark parts of yourself you've been hiding, what we call the shadow, and you have to bring them in. It's a path to balance, to a peaceful, healthy mind.
But then one day, a stranger walks into town, and he's not carrying medicine. Nope, he's carrying a hammer. And he hasn't come to heal anyone. He's come to challenge the very definition of what it means to be healthy. This stranger, our Friedrich Nietzsche, he represents a totally different path, a fundamental clash of worldviews.
Okay, this slide just lays out the whole conflict perfectly, doesn't it? You've got the healer, Jung, who's all about finding balance by integrating your parts. He's offering you a cure. But then there's the stranger, Nietzsche. He wants power, and his method is intensification. He's not offering you a cure, he's offering you a destiny. For Jung, your shadow is a friend you need to get to know. For Nietzsche, it's a fatality. It's a core part of your fate that you have to master.
So, what's the deal with this hammer? Well, the stranger isn't using it for just smashing things. No, he uses it to test. He walks through this village tapping on its biggest beliefs, just listening to the sound they make. He is, as he would say, philosophizing with a hammer.
And this is his famous method, but you gotta think of it less like a sledgehammer and more like a tuning fork. He strikes an idea, like, say, psychological balance, to see if it rings true with the deepest parts of life, or if it just kind of gives off this dull, hollow thud. It's his diagnostic tool for figuring out the health of a culture's most cherished values.
And bam! This quote shows the hammer in action. The stranger looks at what the healer is doing and says, you know what? You've just put a new mask on an old face. You got rid of the priest, but your goal is exactly the same: to tame people, to domesticate them, to make them manageable. Where's the path to becoming mighty? He's striking at the very foundation of therapy itself.
So, the real heart of their disagreement is the shadow. What is this darkness that we all carry around? And what are we supposed to do with it? As we're about to see, the healer and the stranger have two completely, totally different visions for how we should face it.
The healer, our Jung, sees this as a horizontal process, right? Imagine you're gathering up all the scattered, rejected pieces of who you are from all over the landscape of your life, and you're bringing them all into this big circle of acceptance. You integrate the shadow. You make peace with it so you can become a complete, balanced person.
The stranger just scoffs at this idea. For him, the process is vertical. It's a climb. It's about intensifying your will, your power, until you reach what he calls the great noontide. And at this peak moment, the sun is directly over your head. Your shadow doesn't disappear. No, it gets pulled directly under you, conquered, absorbed. You don't make friends with your darkness. You become the singular source of light that puts it in its place.
You can really feel the stranger's provocative style in the words he uses. He just systematically takes the healer's clinical, kind of comforting terms and translates them into something raw, primal, and, well, physiological. He shifts the focus away from the mind and onto the body's own life force. Just look at this. The healer talks about neurosis, and the stranger translates that to decadence, a sign of a declining life force. Balance? To the stranger, that's just mediocrity. And that ultimate goal of a healthy psyche? To him, that just sounds like watered-down blood, a weakening of the vital, powerful instincts that make life worth living. He's not just suggesting a new method, he's proposing a whole new goal for being human.
And maybe the most powerful way to see the difference is this. The healer suggests you manage your inner beast with a firm leash. Yeah, it's a part of you, but it's got to be controlled. The stranger just roars back, you fool! That leash is a castration of your strongest instincts. The goal isn't to tame the predator inside, it's to release it, to become it, to ride its incredible power.
And here's a really critical distinction. The healer's cure is democratic, right? It's available to pretty much anyone who's willing to do the hard work of self-reflection. The stranger's challenge, though, well, it's deeply elitist. It is not for everyone.
The way the stranger talks is a full-on verbal attack. It's designed to create this pathos of distance, a gap between himself and the ordinary villagers. He's setting up a hierarchy. He genuinely believes that only a very few, the higher men, have the spiritual strength to actually consume their own darkness. For everyone else, he warns, trying to unleash that inner beast would just lead to self-destruction.
So let's just boil it all down. For the healer, the shadow is a problem, and his therapy turns you into a patient looking for a cure. For the stranger, the shadow is your fate, something you should love and embrace as the source of your power. You don't fix a destiny, you fulfill it. He doesn't want you to be a patient. He's calling on you to be a creator, forging your own values out of your own beautiful, terrifying depths.
And just like that, the stranger leaves the village. The echo of his hammer is still ringing in the air. The healer, well, he continues his work, holding up his mirror. The two paths are still there, leaving a choice for every single villager, and, of course, a final crucial question for you.
So, when you look inside, what do you see? Do you see a wound that needs to be healed, a part of you that has to be integrated so you can find balance? Or do you see a source of immense power, a destiny just waiting to be unleashed, even if that path is dangerous? The hammer or the mirror? Which tool are you going to pick up?